Welcome, welcome, and thank you for joining us. I'm Jackie Ives, your host for the video summit, Make Him Fall Madly in Love. 21 experts share keys and tools to help you discover how to attract love, keep it real, and make it last forever. And today, I'm over the moon excited about our special guest speaker. She is an expert in this incredible subject. She's an intimacy expert, and I'm so pleased to introduce to you Allana Pratt. Allana, welcome. I'm so happy you're here today.
Oh, it's great to be here. You are just a vision. You're a beautiful woman, a beautiful set, talking about a delicious topic, and I'm so grateful to be here.
Great, so thank you. It's just an honor, really it is, and a privilege to have you here. And I know our audience knows you. You're so popular, and you're just really resonating with our audience. And but before we get started, I just wanted to tell everyone a little bit more about you. And so you've been featured on CBS, TLC, and Fox, and you're a coach to the celebrities, a cum laude graduate of Columbia. You're also a single mom and an author of 4 books, including The Reluctant MILF. And I love that. I love you pole dance for pleasure, and you know when mama's happy, everybody's happy. And you know, thousands flock to you for your sexy, empowering, intimate show, Intimate Conversations Live. And I love that you say you're here to end sexual violence on the planet, have stupid amounts of joy as a mother, and ooze sensuality and inspire reverence for our exquisite sexual nature. Allana, you're incredible.
Every time I hear that, I always want to do a little dance at the end, because it's like, yeah, that's why I get up in the morning. That's what turns me on.
And so I'm excited about the topic, embrace your deliciousness and achieve lasting love. Oh, that's what we all want. And so please tell us, I'm dying to know, how do we embrace our deliciousness?
Well, I'm glad we have at least 30 minutes, because I could probably take 3 days talking about it. I think the first place to start is looking to, where are you not embracing your deliciousness? Let's just be vulnerable and real as women and men, and stop pretending that, we'll just be happier and do 10 more affirmations and that'll work. If it did, we wouldn't be listening to your wonderful series today. There's more than that. And if it's kind of a graphic example, but what I like to think of is an ice cream cone full of shit. Can I say that? Poo. Full of poo-poo, covered in sprinkles. Right? You can cover with all the sprinkles you want with a good attitude and all the rest of it, but the core, if there's shame in there, if there's guilt, if there is you haven't forgiven yourself or another, if there's any of those deep-seated issues going on, there is no way you're going to feel delicious. Or you might look it on the outside, but someone will say, he or she's a faker, because they won't feel it. It's a beingness. It's a radiance that comes from deep within when we've done our own inner work to fall madly in love with not just our good parts, but can we put our arm around the part of us that's scared? Can we put our arm around the part of us that doesn't like her cellulite? Can we put our arm around the one who doesn't want to say on her first date, yeah, I've been divorced twice? All those are the parts that we need to love just as deeply and madly as the parts that we're very proud of. And when you do that inner work, you're holistic, you're whole, and you come across as not just delicious on the outside, but like deliciousness itself. It's magnetic. It's like a vortex, and what attracts quality partners to you, and it's what keeps a relationship alive over time.
I love that you said that it attracts. So that's the attraction principle, to be that which you are, which is, like you said, having done your deep work and just getting to the bottom of what it is that you need to deal with, so that you are actually radiating the wholeness and the being that you really are. And so what are some of the things that we can do to begin to drop into that beingness?
That's a beautiful question. So the first thing is tell the truth. If we're looking at a scale of consciousness, where at the top it's bliss, orgasmic ecstasy, that's so awesome. But in order to get there, below that is allowance. Being totally in allowance that here I am, the good, the bad, the ugly, warts and all. It's an allowance. Because anything beneath that is anger, sadness, shame, guilt, and we're not going to attract anybody there. So the first step would be to tell the truth. Where am I? Not as a judgment, just as a curiosity, hi, Nice to meet you. How do you feel? And that part of you will say, oh, I feel pretty ashamed. So again, if you can be an allowance about that, you can start moving up the scale. But if you try to fix it, change it, make her wrong, got to change that now, don't let anybody know about that, it's going to stay stuck, and you're going to come across fake. And you're going to feel inauthentic and not confidence oozing from your skin. So tell the truth, be an allowance, and ask this part of you, so what do you need? That part of you might say, well, you have pretty crappy boundaries. Or you say yes when you mean no. Or you compare yourself to others all the time rather than celebrating who you are. Or you don't take care of your body. You go to sleep way too late at night. It's going to talk to you. Or you're still hanging around being upset and blaming the ex. Let it go. Learn the lesson. Move on. As you start to talk to these in allowance and curiosity, these lower parts of ourselves, shall we call them, they begin to transform with grace, and you can start to take actions in your life where you're going to take better care of your health. You're going to do some delicious sensual practices and dance by candlelight, or masturbate more often, or throw out those granny panties and put on some sexy thongs. You're going to do whatever it means to you to love you, to come into love with you. That person that calls all the time, that drains you every time you go out for coffee and you feel like you've been sucked dry, say you're busy next time. I mean, maybe they don't have the capacity to actually have a conscious conversation with you about what's not working in your relationship, but clearly it's not working. So you're busy, and just let go of those people that just don't lift you. If you look across your life, you'll see where you're giving away your power or where you're judging yourself. And we want to stop either of those. And we want to come home to self-honor, self-celebration, self-sensuality, self-care, all that self-yummy stuff, so that you're actually full. Because when you go out on a date, if there's any part of you that's empty, you're going to be looking to them, am I enough? Am I enough? But if you're full and confident, yeah, I've been divorced, yeah, I got some cellulite, and yeah, I'm pretty amazing. Like, that's your inner dialogue. There's nothing prove. There's nothing to justify, and you can be so intimate. And that's why I call myself an intimacy expert. Those intimate moments of authentic connection with another. Oh, that just turns me on, makes me wet, makes me so juicy. And that's not possible if you're resisting who you are, because then they'll pick up on that, and you'll never have that yummy connection, which can lead to the next date, to sex, to intimacy, to exclusivity, to marriage, to long-lasting love. It really does all begin inside.
Oh, I love that when you first started, you were talking about honesty and emotional honesty. And I just love that you said that, because it's critical, and it's really, like you said, the first step to becoming intimate with yourself is being emotionally honest with yourself about what's going on, and really looking at yourself without judgment, without blame, just not labeling it good, bad, wrong, right, just allowing it to be what it is and accepting yourself. Mm-hmm. That's beautiful. And so you were talking about when we are honest with ourselves, we feel vulnerable. And so share with our audience where the power is in that vulnerability, because I love that aspect of it. And I think a lot of people don't quite understand. They don't want to be vulnerable. They hear that word. And so just tell us all about that.
Yes, it is. It's scary, I would say, intense to be vulnerable, because you are putting down all your walls. And yet, let's just give an example. If you show up on a date with a bunch of walls, like, how well can you see me right now? Not so well, because I've got all of these masks and guides, up, so there's no connection possible. So if you choose to continue to live life that way, that's okay, but know that you'll never, ever deeply connect, ever. And the love can't go out, and the love can't come in. And the joy can't come in or out. And none of the juiciness. I will admit, the pain can't come in either. And the pain won't go out. It'll stay stuck, poisoning inside you. Okay? So that's another part of this choice. But if we're willing not to let go of our shield and our sword, because sometimes in life we're abused and we need to protect ourselves. So I'm not saying splay yourself wide open and be vulnerable to being taken advantage of. No, 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 no. When required, not allowed in. Okay, so these swords and shields, we're not throwing them down. We're just putting them by our side. We're putting them by our side, and we're leading with our heart, knowing full well, in our full awareness, we can protect ourselves on a moment's notice, hi, right, if we need to, okay? But for now, we're not going to lead with this. We're going to lead with the heart, holding on to our protection, whatever capacities, but they're going to be by our side. And this is the intensity, because everything is coming in and out of your heart. Oh my God, I'm so attracted to him. Holy crappers. Oh my God, I'm feeling his sexual energy attracted to me. Oh my God, what is he going to say when I tell him about this, that, and the other? Oh my God, what is he saying to me? Holy, right? So we're getting so much information, so much energy. But this is the richness of life. If I really had to say, is one better or worse, the moment I gave birth to my son, and he was placed on my breast, and the moment that I looked at my mother dead and chose to keep my heart open, those moments, Jackie, both of them are right up there. They're both real moments of choosing to keep my heart open and love. And one was very painful, but it was love. It was love. I loved her so much it hurt. And this baby on my breast with my legs open for the world to see, I could have shut down. I could have closed my heart. I could have been proper. But no, I just wanted to experience the bliss of a miracle looking at me that was in my belly just a minute ago. So that's life. If you're going to be having an intimate relationship, you will get hurt one day. I'm sorry. If you're going to have blissful union and connection with somebody, it's gonna hurt when they die. Or it's going to hurt a little bit when they leave the toilet seat down or whatever. You're going to have to navigate all of this. But you'll practice over time, shield down, sword down, leading with the heart. This heart is strong. It's like the strongest muscle or organ or whatever it is in the body, right? It's really big and really strong, and you can handle way more than you think you can. And along with the pain comes the capacity to withstand it or to go through it, which makes you stronger, which makes you savor the joy and the bliss and the ecstasy all the more, because you no longer have to say, oh my God, I might die. You're like, no, that was tough. That was shitty for a while. I drank a bottle of wine that night with my girlfriend in the hot tub. Yeah, that sucked. But you know what? I'm here. Nothing can take me down. Nothing can take me out. Bring it, life. Bring it. And that kind of openness and vulnerability is sexy. It's attractive. There's no neediness in it. It's uplifting. It's empowering. You're just a delicious force of nature to be around. And be gentle with yourself, because it takes time. It takes time to practice.
Wow, that's fabulous. And it's just, everything you said is so true. Just keeping your heart open so that you can receive the love you want. Because if anything happens and you shut down, you're absolutely right. We block the very thing that we're wanting so much to come to us. And the reason why we shut our hearts down is because we might be judging the situation as good, bad, again, wrong, or right. But it's just essential. And so I'm so glad you took us deeper into just why keeping our heart is open is just so important, and the vulnerability in that is really the power.
Yeah.
And you talk about why being a good girl and a nice guy doesn't work. And so can you kind of delve into that a little bit?
Yeah. Well, it's more about what I was just saying with all of these masks.
Yeah.
Whenever you're being a nice guy or a good girl, you have an agenda. You have a strategy. You're already not feeling safe. You're already not feeling good enough. So you're 3 steps ahead, spinning in your mind, not present, trying to control the other. And how good does it feel when someone tries to control you? Ugh, no, thank you. I want freedom. Thank you very much. I want to be myself. So you squish the people around you, and you come across as very inauthentic when you're being like this. So I'm not saying don't be kind. Definitely be kind. Definitely be tender and sweet. And that's a part of a human being. But I'm saying let go of the strategy of nice or good and just be real. Just drop into the reality of who you really are. And when you show up like that, here's the deal. Some people might not like you. I can't say how grateful I am that my staff deletes the majority of all the hate mail that comes in. Because when you start to show up big in the world, that's what happens. 10% or so of the people think you're a total guru. Another 10% think you're the devil incarnate, and then there's the 80% in the middle that are your clients and customers and community. And so when you show up on a date not being nice girl, not being good guy, but just here I am. You're going to meet somebody that, you know, thinks you're like, you suck. Okay, thanks for sharing. Okay, we can end the date now if you'd like, no problem, and leave, okay? Or don't call them back, or, you know, no second date on that one. The majority of the dates will be good when you're being authentic, because you're going to match that authenticity. And then one day you're going to meet that 10% of the one that thinks you're the one. And it will come from that authenticity. And you'll have to walk through kissing a couple, you know, frogs, and you might actually have to deal with somebody not so nice. But you know what? Their opinion of you means crap, okay? Your opinion of you is what matters. And if you are, whatever you believe in God, the universe, molecules of consciousness, just feel in this moment right now what it's like to have every molecule of consciousness just like kiss you, kiss you, kiss you, kiss you. Or like every angel that ever existed ever is all swooming around you right now with their beautiful wings holding you. You know, rest back into that. Let yourself be held. Hello, somebody's here. I heard a doorbell.
Yeah. They heard you were on the interview, and they're coming by to see it.
The angels are here. Yeah, that's awesome. The angels are here. I love it. Bring it. You know, it's funny. Anyways, let me finish that statement, then I'll tell you something funny. So your capacity to be real and let go of good guy, nice girl, etc. You need to be held by something. You know, being alone, only you on the planet, is a very scary, lonely place. So I invite you to drop in to that place where you've got your own back, that scared part of you, you're holding them inside, or let God, let the angels, let the universe, let the molecules hold you, and and that allows you to be grounded and real, because, you know, whatever they say, you're okay. You're absolutely okay. And I'm saying this not from Miss Perfect. I'm saying this from, you know, I have a lot of difficult things I'm doing right now, some custody things, etc. It's not fun to be in court. It's not fun to be cross-examined. It's horrible. It doesn't feel good at all. However, I walk into that, you know, courthouse, and I imagine that I have these two Game of Thrones 7-foot-tall, kick-ass hot angels on either side of me like this. And we walk in place, and they sit with me, and I'm just like, okay, all right, stick them, get them, whatever. But it helps me. So I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm saying use the tools required so that you can show up heart first. Because when you show up defensive first, nice guy, good girl, or masks, everyone's like, they question you. Something's up with them. They don't trust you. And you will get that fed back to you with people that don't trust you. So be you, attract the highest situation.
Great. So it's all about self-acceptance and just self-love and just accepting yourself for who you are, and others will see that. Once they see that self-acceptance in your own eyes, then you mirror that back, and then they will accept you. It's astonishing how simple it is, but how difficult it is for each of us to really come into that self-acceptance. And so when you do that, self-worth comes to mind when we talk about self-acceptance. Yeah. How do you know your worth?
Sometimes the best way we know our worth is when we're questioned, when we're dumped, when we're abandoned, not always through the good stuff. Because yes, I went to Columbia University, yes, I graduated cum laude, but that's a piece of paper, and frankly, it's a piece of paper that someone could rip up. So is it really me, or is it some sort of outside thing? I mean, I like to be in shape, I do my pole dancing and all the rest of it, but am I only my body, or is there even something more to who I am? And so the more we go inside and praise ourselves, acknowledge ourselves, appreciate ourselves, are tender when we fall down, encouraging to stand back up, when we have this kind of internal relationship, when we're met with somebody who doesn't care for us, we can actually be in allowance of them. Okay, that's fine. You can have your opinion. I honor your opinion. I know who I am. Now, when we don't do that inner work on the inside and someone says they don't like us, we go, no, really, I'm enough. I'll pretzel myself for you. What do you need me to do? I'll let go of that. Sure, I don't really need to go out with my friends anymore. Sure, you know, we change who we are. And that is not a sign of self-worth. So sometimes the best way to grow in your self-worth is to stand in the face of someone who thinks you're crap and go, thank you for sharing. You have free will. You can choose what you want. I know who I am. Anything else? Move on, right?
Yes, yes.
Don't worry about those tough times. Use them to come into mad love with yourself.
Thank you. That's a great answer to that question about self-worth. How do we accept our flaws and our curves and everything about us even more and just love those parts of us?
Well, that's sort of another relationship. Like I was saying, we could have a relationship with our inner scared little girl or ashamed little girl. We also have a relationship with our body. I believe that our bodies are conscious and we are conscious. Like we have a body, like it's a living, breathing, conscious thing. And I remember back when I used to coach Lisa Gibbons in Dancing with the Stars years ago. And the way she was speaking to her thighs. And what came out of my mouth was, how would your thighs feel right now if they, with all that? She's like, oh, they probably don't like me much. I go, well, then do you think they're going to cooperate and get nice and lean and thin and strong? She goes, oh, probably not. I go, why don't you be a little nicer? So we stood in front of the mirror and we just started going through all her body parts. And I'm sure if any of you ladies have done that, you sort of, oh, I don't want to look at that, or let's definitely judge that. Well, think about how that part of you feels. We know from Dr. Emoto's examples of, when you send love into water, it turns into those beautiful crystals, and when you send hate, it turns into crap, right? Well, our bodies are made of water. Hello, it's just science, okay? So why don't we just talk with kindness to our curves? Ooh, you are so voluptuous, look at you, right? And why do we wash our face every night with the bright lights on? Why don't we just light a candle? Okay, you don't want to see the wrinkles and you're having trouble, not saying, oh, you're looking so old. Like, wash your face by candlelight and go, wow, you are exquisite. Like in my pole dancing classes, there's hardly any lights on and there's like red lamps in the corner and that's it. We all look good. If we had those bright neon lights, there would be cellulite everywhere and rolls of this everywhere. But we set it up to feel like goddesses, to honor each other like goddesses, and to look like goddesses with the way the curves of our body are. So it's just a choice. Nobody's holding a gun to your head telling you have to speak mean to yourself. You're choosing it. It might be a little unconscious, but when you start to get conscious about it, look, you have a choice. I say flirt with yourself in the mirror every day. Love on yourself in the mirror every day. And when you walk by a building and there's like the mirror and you're in there, you're like, suck the belly in, oh, open the chest, oh, like you're doing your normal thing, oh, stop, flirt. Hey, look at you, you're such a hottie, oh, slap that ass, and off you go to your next meeting. It's just a choice. So yeah, choose differently. Choose love.
I love that. It is a choice, and we have to make that choice sometime throughout the day, so many times over and over, what it is we want to think about, because whatever we're thinking about is something that we're actually going to manifest, going to show up in that next moment possibly. And so you're right when you say it's a choice. It is absolutely, and just you can choose love, choose to keep your heart open, choose to love yourself and accept yourself unconditionally, and that's what real love is. And so talk to us about the law of attraction, or just attracting that. You're talking about what you can give yourself and how that can show up in others, and just kind of expand on that a little bit.
Well, I'm not a law of attraction expert. I'll just talk from my perspective here.
Yeah, your perspective is exactly what I want to hear.
Good. So when we're falling madly in love with who we are, we're in this allowance, and soon we go into more acceptance and joy about our curves. And we're really, like, we're having self-pleasure, and we're really just going, I'm a good person. And then we start to make the choice, and I choose a partner. And then we get to be creating what that partner is. I like to do it from the already done state. Oh, thank you so much that he is a silent sleeper. Rather than, you better not snore. Okay, so, oh, thank you so much, he's a silent sleeper. Oh, and thank you so much when I'm in my heels and I rest into him, his chest is about right there. So that's about how tall he is, universe. Oh, thank you so much for that. And oh, thank you so much that exactly who I am with my, anal way that I am about making my coffee every morning. He just loves that. Oh, thank you so much for that. Oh, and thank you that every time I turn around, I don't know how it happens, but there's always gas in my truck. He does those little things for me that mean so much to me. Like, you start to talk as if it's already done, with gratitude and feeling, and you can write it down and you can read it. Those are all ways to kind of get the state of being that you have it. Because I believe that wanting it, oh, I don't have it, it doesn't do any good, or needing it, or demanding it, or any of these more intense things. No, just gratitude for having it already done seems, for me anyways, to be the highest vibration of desire actualized. And then when I go out to the grocery store, the old me would have went, oh, is he the one? Is he the one? Oh, you should walk this way. Oh, you should do that. What should you say? Okay, that's so exhausting. Rather than walking into the grocery store, feeling the feelings of, oh, he just put gas in my truck. I'm so blessed. And there's a really hot guy, and I'm like, hi. And like, hi. I go, and I just be dorky, sexy, authentic, whatever, me. There's something very magnetic about someone who's already in gratitude, who's already connected and approachable, who doesn't have an agenda, and you just be yourself. And to me, you've got to talk to people, you've got to show up, you've got to do whatever you choose to do, whatever feels right in your heart. Online dating, that feels right to me, or no. A matchmaker feels right to me, or no. A life coach, relationship coach, intimacy coach, sex coach, whatever feels good to me. Just follow your knowing, do the work, but come from that place of it's already done. And for me, that's the most magnetizing way of attracting great men. Recently, I would say the last 2 years, I've never gone after a guy. I've always had somebody introduce them, or they come up to me at an event, or somebody sets me up. Like they've come. So I'm noticing that as I personally do this work more, I'm becoming more of a magnet to them just dropping in my lap. But on my little list, as I was telling you, I also say, oh, thank you so much that he was just dropped in my lap, because I have enough to do with being a single mom and an entrepreneur. I do not choose to do the whole online dating thing. So I also ask for it that way, and lo and behold, they drop in my lap. Not to say online dating is bad, because I've done that, I've had success, it's awesome. But I'm just saying this is what's true for me.
Wow. Gratitude. That is the most powerful thing in the universe. I'm so happy you brought that up. You're so right on with everything you shared today. Gratitude is the fastest way to just put yourself in the now, be totally present and authentic, is being grateful. And it's just such a beautiful quality when you see someone watching you. Just when you were talking about gratitude, how much beauty you exude, and just grace and love and acceptance for everything and everyone. And it's just so attractive.
Thank you. And I also want to add that, sometimes it's hard to be grateful for situations that don't feel very good. Like, how can you be grateful for being single or alone? How can you be grateful for being divorced? Well, if you look and you ask, what's the gift in this? What's right about this? What's the possibility in this? Like today I was in the bathroom talking with one of the girls at my pole dancing class, and I have like a wrist thing because I was a little crazy on the pole the other day with my right wrist. And so on the one hand, when I dance, I'm not as big and strong and exuberant as usual. And she was like, well, when I broke my right wrist, my left arm got really, really strong. And I'm like, that's what's right about this. My other arm is going to get strong. Or maybe instead of flying around, I'm going to learn just to slow down and spend a little more time in my hips. There's always something right about the now, because the universe, God, is on our side. Life is for you. Because if it's not, I don't want to play. Let's get off now. Okay? Life has to be for us, or I'm not showing up. So I affirm life is for us. The universe is on our side. Even there's something right about this. So there's something right about wherever you are now listening to this. If you're single or dating or divorced or whatever it is, choose that there's something right about this. Look and find what's right about this. And then take the next step to love yourself madly so that you can attract that love you deserve. If you need to be more, confident in your skin, if you need to dissolve some sexual shame and you're not feeling, free about your sexuality, whatever it is, what's right about right now is that you get to dive into that, alchemize all of that into beautiful radiance and wisdom and magnetism, and have what you want.
Yes, yes. I couldn't say it better. I mean, that's just so absolutely divine what you shared. And yes, it's finding the silver lining in everything. And there absolutely is a silver lining in everything. And that's the beauty of life and all these wonderful experiences we have. and that there's so much opportunity to grow and shift, and so being able to see that just keeps us from being stuck in life and just always growing. Green and growing is what I call it. And so I'd love for you to tell our audience about your free gift that you're offering. I know I want to grab it, and I know everybody that's watching this interview is excited about what your offering is today.
So my pleasure. Every time I ever show up on an interview, I want to give you a piece of me to take home with you. So I chose today, and let me get the right website. So it's my name, my website, allanapratt.com/madly in love, all one word. And I did this hot interview, conversation with Dr. Dane here. He's from Access Consciousness, and we talked about sex. We talked about being sexual when you're single, being sexual when you are in a relationship. We talked about what it takes to truly embrace your deliciousness, what it truly takes to dissolve and clear away forever the shame or guilt you have around your body, around intimacy, around the past relationships. So all of that is cleared away. And so by the end of this, it's like an MP3 that you can listen to. By the end of it, you will have had clearings of all of the shame and guilt. You'll have openings to all of that deliciousness. I think you're going to feel more at peace in your skin, more clear with what you deserve, more madly in love with you in this moment now. Yes, you're still going to be taking steps forward, but let's not wait to be madly in love with ourselves. Let's do it now. Because that's that magnetizing attraction factor that will attract a higher caliber partner. Now remember, when you get that partner, it's not game over. There's even more lessons now to learn and grow over years and decades with them. So let's just get into the practice now of being grateful for now, embracing now, and open to how can it get even more delicious than this. And that's what this MP3 does. And so I want everybody on the call to enjoy that. Go for a walk, listen to it in the bath, at the gym, as you're driving the kids to school, once they're dropped off, because I think we might swear in it. Sometimes we swear. I'll just give that little warning. But it's heartfelt, and it's powerful, and it's my beautiful gift to you. So again, it's allanapratt.com/madly in love. You're going to love it.
Oh, I can't wait. I love it. I already just love the sound of it. I'm going to download it and listen to it today. Thank you so much. That's a wonderful offering. And just thank you so much for sharing your wisdom with us. You are a shining example of authenticity, beauty, grace, and beingness. And I just want to thank you from my heart to yours for taking the time to share your insights and wisdom with our audience. And I just adore you.
Thank you for acknowledging me, Jackie. It takes a lot to continue to show up in your vulnerability, and I do it because if I can change one person's life, then I say I'm a success. And so you just made my day, knowing that this conversation made a difference, and to think that it's rippling into everyone else's lives just fulfills me on such a deep level. Such an honor and privilege. You're beautiful. You're amazing, and continued success to you as well.
Thank you so much. So Allana Pratt, an inspiration to all of us. Make sure you tap into that free gift that she's offering on the email that you got when you signed up for this video summit. I'm Jackie Ives, and thank you again for joining us on Make Him Fall Madly in Love. We'll see you soon.